What's up, everyone? Welcome back to yet another weekly video of mine. I think it's pretty much been confirmed. The US GDP has been negative for the first time since 2022. Uh, absolute horrible situation for the American economy. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to see a lot worse. I also think this is going to be good for Bitcoin. I think this is going to push Bitcoin to absolutely new heights as people look for safe havens as opposed to other assets or maybe even an alternative to gold. All right, let's get into the video. Once again, my own personal opinions on this matter, not a financial expert. Uh, but so far, it seems most of them agree with me. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are back at CoinMarketCap. Uh, Overall, still below 3 trillion. We're still, yeah, we saw a little bit of a pump on Bitcoin earlier. Uh, I think we're up generally around 15%. Uh, as I said, good for Bitcoin. I think bad for the economy. I think the fundamentals of the economy are still very poor. I think the outlook on the economy is becoming more bleak as we go along. We've already, uh, in the news, there's already been articles about American car companies scaling down, closing factories, moving production, not to the US as they want to somehow do. Not happening, at least not noticeably. And with them, a lot of other different companies. I think even toy stores. Uh, I can't really think of the name of an American toy store, but toy stores, general goods companies. I think because these tariffs are all across the board, we're going to see these things happen all across the board, and we're only just now starting to see the effects. And this is with the lower tariffs because currently everything is paused. But with these massive volatility and changes in policies, American companies are gonna nobody's going to invest in such a wildly varying economy because it's just not sustainable. If you end up buying or investing at the wrong time, the wrong moment, you're going to bankrupt yourself and in turn lose more jobs. So I think the downturn has definitely been set. I think the GDP being negative since 2022 proves it since COVID and during COVID, everything was closed. So it's not weird for them at that time to have a negative GDP. So considering everything is open currently, it's insane that we're seeing this. And I think it's definitely set the tone for the next few, or at least the next few months and the next few quarters. We're going to see more and more effects of these policies come out. Now we can also see this in the dollar value. We can see that the dollar to euro has increased dramatically. Also, levels back to 2022, which has evaporated the strong position of the dollar or at least decreased it considerably, noticeably. So even on global trades, it costs more dollars for the US to buy other goods. So it's another double negative. And in this case, double negative does not mean positive. So that further weakens the American position and the American economy in turn. Now, with that said, I found the live debt tracker of the United States debt. It's 36.2 trillion dollars right now, and it's massively increasing. And they have not put a dent in it. Yeah, it seems maybe a little amount of flat, but we saw that similar here. It's going parabolic. They have not saved nearly as much money as they wanted to, and they have to refinance it at higher interest rates. So this amount is going to go parabolic, and this is even going to worsen the economy even more. And this is also going to undermine even more faith. Now, why is all this good for Bitcoin? Because I think Bitcoin will become a hedge against all this inflation. Is that the decrease in value of the dollar, of the American trading position, and the worsening of the American economy, and the inflation for the general people in general, because the dollar will not increase in value, and I think the Bitcoin will. So eventually, it'll protect your own assets from devaluating instead of keeping it in just Bitcoin or just dollars. MasterCard unveils end-to-end capabilities to power stablecoin transactions. So you will be able to buy and sell stablecoins through your MasterCard, through your credit card, which is a massive boon for usability, for to be able to both uh, buy and sell crypto directly from your credit cards, as opposed to having to go through exchanges or third-party sellers, which are more expensive, more easy, more difficult to use, and more prone to scams. So, and not only is Mastercard doing this, Visa is launching this as well. Now, this is obviously, of course, in Latin America, but it's safe to assume that they're going to roll this out to multiple countries. Um, and it's also not the first country that they did this in. So as more and more onboarding comes, as more ease of use goes into the markets, people will be able to buy crypto or stable coins in this case more easily. And of course, after you have these stable coins, you can move these to exchanges, you can trade, you can switch, you can swap. Once you're in, you're in. You can keep trading. And most importantly, you can sell and you can move crypto back to your own account. Now, here's why Bitcoin's rise is 100% imminent. The world's largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, has finally started recovering after its recent slump. Well, of course, it lowered to 74 from 109. We're currently around 90, 94 as of this video. No, at the time of writing, this coin was trading at 94.5, as I just said. It comes after a negligible drop, and it's a little bit below its all-time high. Now, I think we're below the all-time high because the general market is very fearful because of all this negative news that's coming out. However, uh, usually when we saw big drops in stock markets, we saw a bigger drop in Bitcoin. However, we see as crypto continues to grow, continues to adopt, it's starting to become, it's starting to behave like its own financial asset. It's less and less dictated by the movements of stocks or ETFs. And as it's a better ease of use as opposed to something like gold, it'll be easier to, because we all believe in it, it'll retain its value, and it will most likely increase its value because more and more instances, companies, people are buying it. And this is also their take on this. Kaiser took to X, shared a post by Chicken Genius, an ex-user with 216,000 followers, to express his bullishness towards Bitcoin. The cumulative total since Trump's inauguration compared with the same periods in 2023-2024, the spending. More was spent in 2025 than in 2024. So that means that Elon Musk's whole saving campaign did not work. BTC likely to pump front-running macro news. US Treasury likely to borrow more. So they're not lowering the debt, they're increasing it. $391 billion higher versus estimates. So that's higher than the estimates that they had. So they were already increasing it, not decreasing it. It's actually becoming more higher. They're loaning a lot more. So there is no way a tariff will solve the debt crisis. Elon's effort couldn't make a debt. And tariffs with these amounts, like he's saving, he says he's gaining a few billion, and they're increasing it with 514 billion. So there is no chance that they're going to solve this, at least in the foreseeable future, or at least in the next, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 years. So if you do nothing, if you trust the process, you will go bankrupt, most likely. You will either lose your job, you will lose your money, you will lose is the key word to this. And the only way to protect ourselves is to buy more assets which don't decrease in value. So buying more gold, buying more silver, maybe buying whiskey. Although debatable, American whiskey might also be decreasing in value right now. So there is a reason why I think Bitcoin is better in this case. Because is your gold worthless? And the list says Bitcoin is better than gold. Here's how. I already think this, but it's always good to find these articles by people who know more than me, also corroborating the same thing I am thinking. Gold is eternal. It's the largest store of value in human history, over 21 trillion, and is physically indestructible. But after 8 years running a physical gold vault, I realized something. Bitcoin is better. Why? Gold's weakness. Final settlement requires humans, vault, trucks, planes, customs. And if any link breaks or it gets stolen or whatever, you fail. In 2020, during COVID, I realized if my clients ask for gold deliveries, I could not guarantee it. And that's when it hit me. Humans have never encountered this truly scarce. Gold survives chaos, Bitcoin thrives in it. Faster, borderless, no centralized third parties, self sovereign, undebasable. It's a fundamentally different beast. And that's what we all think. That's why we trust crypto. That's why we buy crypto. We all think fundamentally Bitcoin is different. It's fundamentally meant to be different. It was a way, a store of value, as opposed to no bank which could control it. It's the idea of Bitcoin. Now, I do think the altcoins also have a place in this, but the this is the reason to buy Bitcoin in a nutshell, and especially now that there's massive adoption coming, and or it technically already is, but it's becoming more and more easier to buy more, to hold more, and it's becoming easier to also sell it, to also take profits, to also transact in these fashions. So this is, if there was ever a sign to buy more Bitcoin, it is now. With the US debt increasing exponentially, the US dollar becoming losing its value and quite considerably over a very short amount of time, around 7% in a month, which is unreal. You lose 7% of your total value of your assets, your house, your car, your savings, your everything that's expressed in dollar is losing value right now. So why not buy Bitcoin, which not only keeps its value for now, because currently it's actually more stable, because as opposed to the dollar losing value, Bitcoin has gained value. And yes, it might fluctuate, but overall we have seen year over year almost 100% return on Bitcoin. Now these percentages are very likely to increase. If more money starts flowing into Bitcoin, we will see absolutely new all-time highs. And it's the fact that we're actually quite close to the last all-time high should not discourage people in that. Do I think you should invest all your money in one go? No, obviously not. As I've posted about in all my other videos, I think you should layer in. You should be very smart about this. Buy the dips, very easy, or it sounds more easy than it is, and slowly layer in. We do not want the price to drop considerably right after we buy, so we keep buying all the way down, and we keep buying all the consecutive dips, even if they are a bit higher or even if they are a bit lower. So that's the way. That is the fundamental way to invest into Bitcoin and invest in any asset actually, which we think will hold value. Now, am I also buying stocks or American stocks? Yes, I am, but not right now, because I think the blood is in the streets. The bloodletting has started, and it's not yet completely in the streets. I think we will see massive panic in markets, and especially in financial markets. But that's also why we can see that gold is doing so well. And I think Bitcoin will behave like digital gold. It will keep following this trajectory. And if we see this same parabolic move on Bitcoin again, I mean, why would we not want to hold it? All right. Now, if you want to follow me on this, if you want to trade like I trade, you're feel free to use my link to BitUnix. I use BitUnix for investing into crypto, investing into Bitcoin specifically, and you get a few you get a few free trading bonuses as well. You get a few deposit bonuses. They actually have a learning program as well, so you can, if you're new to crypto, you can actually spend some time reading through the basic knowledge, the basic information, the basic terminology. Even though it might be a bit boring, I recommend you do this. If you don't like BitUnix, there's also BTCC. This is also a link to in the description below. Or if you're in the SEPA zone and you don't like leverage trading, you can use Bitfavo. It's a Dutch exchange, but it works in the SEPA zone. Countries like the UK, for example. So it has an English platform as well. You can also feel free to use those. Any of them is good. I use all three of those. I actually used to use a lot more than them as well. So I think there's benefits to each and every platform. Feel free to use them. If you don't, completely fine as well. Use the exchange or platform you're comfortable with using. Uh, and if you like this video, if you like the content I make, if you want to hear more from me, whatever you want, feel free to leave a comment. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. You help me out massively, and it enables me to do this more. And I like doing this, and I want to do more. So yeah, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and watch the video. All right, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you.